Well, greetings, our dear viewers of the Uganda Catholic Television. We thank you so much for watching UCTV. My name is Joseph Kabale, and here back with another special show about the environment. Now, if you must be reminded, very soon in this month of June, we always join the rest of the world as a country to commemorate the World Environment Day. Now, for this one of 2026, I understand there are several partners that the Ministry of Water and Environment through NEMA have partnered with to make this day success and make sense in our efforts to preserving our environment. In the studios tonight, I've been joined by Mr. Wilber Ikilai. This one is the Assistant Commissioner, Environment, Education and Advocacy, in the middle of my guests, along with Mr. Robert Okello. This one is the CEO of the Sage Food Industries. Mr. Robert will help us understand for those ones who are in the industrialization sector, how we can undertake our activities without compromising the preservation of the environment. On my extreme right, I've been joined by the Chief Worker. This is not the first time he's appearing on the screen of the Uganda Catholic Television. He's from the Workers Association of Uganda. Mr. Geoffrey Ayeni is one of the founding leaders. You're welcome to the show, gentlemen. If we could start the show by you kindly greeting our viewers, it would do. Mr. Walker, could you please greet our viewers?
Yes. Good evening, our audience, and my fellow members here.
Good evening.
My name is Geoffrey Ayeni from Workers Association of Uganda.
Okay.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you so much for making time. Mr. Wilber.
Good evening, viewers. I'm called Wilber Ikilai. I work with NEMA, Assistant Commissioner, Environment, Education and Advocacy.
Okay.
I'm happy to be hosted here at UCTV. This is my third time.
Your third time?
Yeah,
thank you so much for always making time. Mr. Okello, could you please greet our viewers, and we'll start right away with you. Immediately after greeting our viewers, would you please explain, like, what role can these ones who are in industrialization do in complementing the efforts to preserve the environment?
Thank you so much, Joseph, for hosting us. Thank you, viewers and listeners on UCTV. I'm glad to be here for the first time. I'm honored.
Okay.
And I should thank Caritas Uganda for linking us to this meeting. Yes, I am Robert Okello, of course. I'm the CEO of Sage Food Industries.
Okay.
And we specialize in the growing and value addition to this commodity called chia seeds.
Chia seeds.
You could see.
Yeah.
You could see. I normally don't market this, but for the first time I'm marketing this.
Okay.
It is an export commodity. Basically, it is 100% export commodity, but we're now also doing it in Uganda. So this is what we brought in Uganda in 2012 for growing.
Okay.
But we as a company, we value so much the environment aspects, and we know that agriculture and our commodity cannot work without a good environment.
Okay.
We long to see the environment which used to be in Uganda 2 seasons. That there was this season 1 and season 2. That it is from March to ABCD where you're doing the planting.
Okay.
So when we grow crops and we have failure of rainfall or not very good rainfall or too much rainfall in a particular season, it affects us so much. So in our company, we value environment so much, and we are here basically to say even other companies can do the same thing.
Okay.
Take care of the environment, because that is where we are anchored.
Okay, Mr. Robert. So often, people be accusing you that it's you who are sometimes compromising our green cover. You're the one who's settling in the wetlands. How can you go about this as the proprietors of such industries?
I think, you see, I come from the private sector point of view, and the private sector, basically, by formation, they are profit making.
Okay.
Actually, industry, formation of industries is all about profit, originally about profit. If you hear about the Industrial Revolution, you hear about this and that, industries is about making profit. But over the years, the same industry has realized that profit alone is not the primary motive of companies being formed or business being done. At the end of the day, the environment, the circumstance, the ecosystem plays a very big role in making profits get realized.
Okay.
So you will find that, yeah, profit, yes, but it cannot be sustained. You can never be thinking about only profit, that you are sleeping and waking up thinking about only making profit.
Yeah.
You must refocus and say, no, the profit I'm making is also a result of some factors within the ecosystem. And one of them is the physical environment. So, like the drinks companies, are suffering so much. The cost of water purification, because of our current environment, is so costly. And believe me and you, I believe it comes from the parent company, the current Ministry of Water and Environment. You have no idea how they struggle to purify this water, how to make this water potable, usable by human beings. And it reaches a point where companies are the ones to really drive the agenda of environmental issues. So we come here not just to talk, we come here to say, you private companies, let's come together and think about the environment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert. If I could go back to my brother, Geoffrey Ayeni. Just for clarity and for emphasis, Mr. Geoffrey is the one who has ever been recorded, or ever since he started this advocacy. He's an activist, environmental activist. He has walked, the documented records is 7,000 kilometers, all in the spirit of advocating for environment. What do you have to tell someone out there watching the Uganda Catholic television who thinks there is no way this can touch him, is like he has nothing to do about this at all?
Yes, Joseph, thank you very much. Yes, you stated that Geoffrey Walker Ayeni is the one who has walked the longest kilometers on Earth for the plight of water, environment, and climate change. Yes, I pick up this idea, being somebody who has been walking. I picked up the idea of walking to advocate for water, environment, and climate change. That was in 2017. And since then, I've been walking and creating awareness about the challenges affecting our environment, water resources, and of course, climate change. After realizing that there are so many people out there who are not aware of climate change, or they don't know its impact on the environment. So I did this, and since then I've engaged very many people around Uganda after walking all the distance you've mentioned. I've recruited very many into joining environment and climate change activism. So anyone can be part of this, just like what you are doing right now, hosting us. You're already contributing towards the advocacy.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Geoffrey Ayeni. If I could go back to the Assistant Commissioner you have in the studios today, Mr. Wilber Ikilai.
Yeah.
On behalf of NEMA, several initiatives you've undertaken. How do you assess the progress, like the efforts you've undertaken, apart from evicting some of the people who have encroached on our wetlands? How do you assess the progress as a country towards our goals regarding environment?
Yeah, thank you so much. First of all, I want to appreciate UCTV for giving us the opportunity to be here to share with the the listeners and the viewers outside there. NEMA, of course, I have to first highlight the mandate of NEMA so that I should be in position to give the right response. NEMA is a National Environment Management Authority. It is a principal agency that is mandated by law to coordinate, monitor, supervise, and regulate all activities related to the environment in the country.
Okay.
And we do this, we collaborate with the partners. As you can see already, we are working with the partners here. These are partners that are already working with us at the National Organizing Committee for World Environment Day. But we work with the other partners that are called the lead agencies. The lead agencies here are those organizations, are those entities that are entitled or that are given mandate by law to manage certain aspects of the environment. It includes even all the local governments. And as NEMA, we've worked closely with the local governments, we have worked with the other partners to ensure that environment management is enhanced and properly managed. And as we speak right now, a lot of interventions have happened. If I can highlight some few.
Yeah.
What we're already doing here is environment education and public awareness.
Okay.
And this has happened on different media platforms. But also we have engaged what we call regional engagements on environment management. We have had in Busoga, we've had in Kigezi, we have had in Bukedi, and it is still continuing. These regional engagements are for the communities that are still working in the wetlands, that are still doing the farming in the wetlands. And we are doing that to create awareness and to make them begin to understand the importance of getting out of the wetlands.
Okay.
Now, when you see enforcement happening in the country, it is it's not the first. That is not the first engagement between NEMA partners, because as we work on this issue of enforcement, as you see it, first of all, we should understand that the mandate of wetland management is with the Ministry of Water and Environment.
Okay.
But as I told you that, as NEMA, we work with the lead agencies. One of the lead agencies we work with is the Ministry of Water and Environment. It is a lead agency in wetland management. It's also a lead agency in water management in the country. But also the districts, the local governments are mandated to manage the environment and natural resources within their areas of jurisdiction in trust of the people of Uganda. So we work with all of them. So when you look at the enforcement ongoing, that is the last resort. That means we have already had the first efforts talking to those communities,
Okay.
making them believe and understand, giving them restoration orders to kind of give them information that now, by this period of time, you needed to have vacated this. After a lot of engagement and assessments. So that is one thing. I see that as progress. But also, there are other aspects that we've done that may not be necessarily visible,
Okay.
that have shown progress. For example, in terms of policies, we have worked with the ministry and other government entities in developing policies and regulations that support us in environment management. For example, we recently were moving from region to region, popularizing aspect of the Environment Act that looks at control of hazardous chemicals.
Okay.
And trying to meet the industrialists, trying to meet the environment officers, the DNROs, and other stakeholders that look into how do we manage the chemicals and what is the role of each stakeholder here. And for me, that is already progress. In terms of policies, we've talked about the air quality. Recently, we're on Air Quality Awareness Week. We worked with the partners. We also worked with the partners in other aspects. For example, Water and Environment Week, we had an exhibition with other partners. And these are all efforts in raising awareness, but also effort in galvanizing support from the different stakeholders to take action on environment.
Okay.
Currently, we are working with the partners to ensure that international, the Day for World Environment, the World Environment Day is organized and celebrated in Uganda, as it is done in other parts of the world. And these national and international days and events are coordinated with us as partners to ensure that information reaches the bigger public to take action, but also to ensure that there is participation. One of the principles of one of the principles in environment management is enhancing public participation. And by doing that, we are already enhancing public participation, and that is already progress, one of the aspects of progress. We see, I'm not talking about, first of all, enforcement. I'm already hinting other aspects of environment and other aspects of environment management that we are handling, that support, that show progress in what we are doing. Within what we are doing, we are trying to support the developers through what we call compliance assistance. Developers here are those partners, partners that have the projects, that those who have the projects that are supposed to be started. Those are already running other projects. We provide what we call compliance assistance. How do we do that? We get to the like establishments, to the industries, to the projects, and then before it starts, when it starts, as it is running, we try to support in ensuring that people understand what are the procedures. For example, we provide information such as, before you start, what is the procedure of doing environment social impact assessment? How do you do environment audits?
Okay.
How do you, when it comes to, like, now you have issues of managing the systems, efficiency, how do you improve the efficiency within the system? We try our level best to provide compliance assistance with our technical people. That is already progress. Then there are also other checks that we do. Say, for example, under pollution, we have teams that do pollution, not only pollution of water. We do, of course, testing. We have research laboratory. We do laboratory testing of this, and then we also do research. In NEMA, we have a complete unit that handles research. And that research gives us information that informs policy, that informs decision making, that provides also aspects where we do advocacy. So that is all progress. And there's a lot that we can talk about.
Now, if you could just add on to the progress initiatives you've just hinted on, Mr. Wilber, like, what is your goal in the next year? Okay, by the time we reach to, or we gather to commemorate, we join the rest of the world to mark the World Environment Day next year in June. What are some of those objectives you're aiming at?
One, we actually, as an organization, we're looking at increasing the level of awareness.
Okay.
A number of Ugandans, first of all, do not take environment sometimes seriously. It could be because, we don't blame them, it could be because of partly ignorance.
Ignorance, yeah.
But also it could be also partly maybe negligence. But we want to provide as much information as possible to the public so that the public is aware of the consequences of, one, abuse of environment, but also influence. We want public participation. We want more people to participate in environment management, in enhancing and improving environment in the country. That is very key. Awareness and public participation is very key.
Okay.
And then 3, we want to influence behavioral change. What am I saying when I say influencing behavioral change? Is that when you take water in a plastic bottle, where do you put it? What is your behavior towards handling the waste? Do you throw it? When you're in a car, do you throw that bottle out? Do you take it, you keep it and put it to the right place? What is your behavior when you have a kavera at your hand? You've bought something and you've carried it to the kavera. Okay. Where do you dispose it? When, for example, you find like people are moving, people are gathering, what is their behavior towards how they manage the environment? When, for example, we are in our homes, how do we treat our environment? How do we treat the environment where we stay in? Like, how do we manage our water systems? Is there a better way of managing water? Or we keep polluting our water? I want to give you practices that are really, really very detrimental to our environment. When you are moving with your car, where do you wash your car from? Towards the wetland. Yeah. When you're washing a motorcycle, it is washed towards a wetland. And where do you get where does the oil spills from those motorcycles, the wash go? It goes into the water. Right. And that takes, people look at that as a normal practice. But it's polluting the water. The animals we eat are taking that water. The people we have in the next neighborhood where the water flows are fetching that water to use for consumption. That is one thing. Now, that practice alone is telling you that possibly there is some level of ignorance or neglect. Because we all do that. Okay. When you want to wash your car, where do you take it?
The washing bay.
And where are the washing bays?
Near the wetlands.
Yes, near the wetlands. Then even when you look at how people, in terms of how do we manage our wetlands play a very great role. You can see how they influence precipitation. You can see how wetlands purify the water that we use, because the water has a circular way of moving. You can see how our wetlands provide us with the food, the fish we eat. But as we pollute the wetlands, we are already polluting, we're affecting the food that we're eating, we're affecting the rainfall, we're affecting water purification. We are basically affecting our lives. And possibly that explains why we have so many unexplained cancers, sicknesses that people are having. But they forget that they had contributed towards the pollution of the water sources. Okay,
thank you so much, Mr. Wilber, for that insight, for the insights. If I could go back to our CEO, Sage Food Industries. Sir, industries, companies, especially these ones specializing in food production and other value chain endeavors, you so often accused of perhaps contributing much to the waste we have in our society, in our communities. Because from the packaging, the production resources, it is all about you. As Sage Industries, as Sage Food Industries, what could you advise other fellow similar proprietors, industries to take on? Or what exactly are you people in Sage Food Industries doing, perhaps to avert this practice?
Thank you, Joseph. You see, at the end of the day, the private companies, the private profit companies, for this matter, are so important in the management of environment. And we used to know about the 3 R's, yep. Reduce, reuse, recycle. But for me, I will think about the 5 R's.
There are now 5.
Me, I will think about 5.
Okay.
I will think about refuse. Why should I go to a supermarket and I'm just a stone throw away from my home? Why should I take things in Kavera, for example? Back, yeah. I came here, by the way. I came here. I held these things in this thing here. Why should I carry Kaveras, for example? Let's refuse Kaveras. This is not only for industries, okay, but also for families. And it's important that we begin to teach the young ones about these kind of things from the very start, okay, from homes. So let's reduce even consumptions. Let's reduce these caveras. Let's refuse. We reduce if you cannot. Of course, you cannot just stop it completely. Let's reduce. Let's recycle. Of course, that one is automatic.
Yeah.
Let's re-engineer. And then also let's reinvent. There are some things we can do. I've loved some artists. Mr. Ayeni is a good artist. There are some things he does which are very, very crazy, which I like. We can make these things usable again. I've seen people making use of tires, use tires into so many kind of things. And that is a very good practice.
Okay.
Because the tires, sometimes you can never make use of good of them again in terms of the industry where they are supposed to be, in the vehicles or in the bicycles or in the whatever.
Okay.
But you can repurpose them. You can repurpose. So about industries, yeah, it is true. The industry, look at the shipping company, by the way, the biggest contributors to pollution. For us, we do export, for example. How can you imagine that there is this ship on the waters staying for 2 to 3 months on the water, doing what? Burning fuel. And of course, some big companies are really responsible for environmental issues, yes. Okay. But the same big companies and the small ones must make good. How do they make good? There's something called ESG. Okay, it's a new concept, but the same as CSR, corporate social responsibility. They are rebranding it. We are rebranding it as ESG, environmental, social, and governance. Okay. So this ESG, basically, all small and big companies should be able to embrace it. In Uganda, we have some very good companies. I'm not afraid to mention some of them. Roofing, for example, is a big company, and it is very good in ESG. I've always visited them. I've always enabled people to get seedlings from them. They have something called forever forestry. That's a good practice. It's a good ESG, meaning that whereas you're making money from communities, you are also taking care of the very communities. The very communities from where you want to go. Okay. Forever forestry is a very good thing, and thank you for that.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert, for your message to the fellow proprietors. Our dear viewers of the Uganda Catholic Television, this show will take you off a break. Just to remind you, it is being facilitated by Caritas Uganda, the social development arm of the Uganda Episcopal Conference. My name is Joseph Kabale. We'll go for a break and we'll be back in the next few minutes. Welcome back from that break. You're still watching the Uganda Catholic Television. Good news for you all. My name is Joseph Kabale and I'm here with a special edition about environment, considering that we are soon joining the entire community, the entire global community to mark the World Environment Day 2026. In the studios, I still have gentlemen from the Workers Association of Uganda, the CEO of Sage Food Industries, and the unofficial an assistant commissioner, environment and the environment education and advocacy from the National Environment Management Authority, Mr. Wilber Ikilai. To start with you, Mr. Wilber. Yeah. Uganda is a faith-based community. What has the government done through NEMA? What are you doing to leverage the commitment, the church's commitment? We've seen even the late Pope Francis published an encyclical regarding the environment, Laudato Si. So much has been done by the church leaders to promote environment conservation. What have you done to leverage this commitment?
Thank you so much. First of all, as NEMA, we have partnered with the church closely. Okay. And our presence here in this at UCTV is actually a partnership between NEMA and Caritas Uganda. And of course, the partnership between NEMA and the Catholic and all other faith-based organizations. We have leveraged on this partnership because, one, the information that we want to reach the public, it easily trickles to the public through the preaching, through the teachings of the church.
Okay.
The church, advantage of the church is that, one, it has believers who are people who stay in an environment and they need to take care of environment. So
Okay.
they believe in the church. So when the church teaches, they reach the bigger communities.
Okay.
But also, we are leveraging on the church because the church has land for tree planting. And as we are speaking, there is already what the Pope has mentioned in terms of sustaining environment. We already taking that with the partners on the ground.
Okay.
But also when you look at Church of Uganda also has an aspect of planting 15 million trees. And already the Bishop of the Church of Uganda was saying, now instead, during burials, instead of bringing flowers, we need to plant what? Trees. And that is already a campaign which we are leveraging on, and we feel through that we can do so many things. Even when we are talking about birthdays, instead of bringing cakes and cutting cakes, we would actually plant trees in memory of someone's birthday. And this is an opportunity. But also within the church, we are leveraging the structures. The church has got the structures to reach the communities. Immediately the bishop speaks from here. The last catechist in the community is able to take action because of this kind of opportunity.
Okay.
And also when you look at the church has many schools, and that is where many young Ugandans are. Many Ugandans are between the age, actually so many, below about 60 to 70% of young Ugandans are below the age of 30 years. And where do you find them? In education institutions. And who are the foundation bodies of these institutions? Churches. So we leverage that because we already have programs in the church and we're working with the churches to benefit from this.
Okay.
And we appreciate the various denominations we have in this country.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Wilber, for that emphasis. If I could go back to my brother Geoffrey Ayeni, from the Workers Association of Uganda. Mr. Wilber was emphasizing the issue of partnership. What do you take of this? Like, as the Workers Association of Uganda, what has your partnership with the NEMA and the Ministry of Water and Environment complemented the efforts to conserve our environment?
Yes, thank you very much, our moderator, Joseph. Yes, just like Wilber mentioned, we have been in partnership with the Ministry of Water and Environment,
Okay.
I think for the last 9 years now.
Okay.
And of course, NEMA has also been part of these activities, especially in the Uganda Water and Environment Week. Yes, we've seen as a result of partnership, people were mobilized right now from the Ministry of Water and Environment, where I've worked with them in partnership for some time. I've seen very many institutions come on board. He has mentioned the church itself. I've seen Uganda Joint Christian Council being part of the campaign to protect the environment, water resources, and awareness creation on climate change. Now, when I talk about walking, we have been walking, and part of the partners were the Church of Uganda, Catholic churches. When we walk, we engage. Where Sunday gets us, we engage with the church congregation. Sometimes we also visit church institutions, and we capture their views and see what they're also doing to protect the environment. Yes, now specifically on the World Environment Day that we are organizing to join the rest of the world in commemorating our Environmental Day. Yes, we have very many partners on board, just like we are few representatives.
Okay.
But our contribution to the efforts that is being made by NEMA and the Mother Ministry plays a key role in awareness creation, educating people, sensitizing, and changing mindset. We've seen successes in the previous activities. And for now, we are here as we plan also for the World Environment Day. We have a number of activities that we are set to go and conduct in Ajumani, the Ost district. We have the walking that will take place. Okay. It is a 10 kilometers walk. Unfortunately, I will not be walking that day, but my colleagues will be walking because I will be taking a 24-hour stand for environment, where I expect the general public to join me and make a statement and commitment to conserving our environment.
You chose walking, Mr. Geoffrey. You chose walking, and this time you will be standing.
Yes.
What other lifestyle practices would you recommend someone watching the Uganda Catholic television to adopt to equally contribute to the advocacy or to the efforts in preserving our environment?
Now, being someone, an advocate for walking for environment, I know there are some distance that you don't need to ride or drive. You can walk. If you walk for 10 kilometers or 5 kilometers or 3, you save the planet by reducing the carbon emission that should have come out of the transportation. Yes. So I recommend walking as one of the practical human activities to reduce on greenhouse carbon emission. Okay. I also recommend cycling. I'm even very happy right now if you look at our roads. Our roads are getting on shape. Some of us who are professional walkers, we don't need to board. We can walk provided there is a clear walking lane where you walk without any interruption. Okay. As well as I'm also happy that our government is now introducing renewable energy transport services that will replace most of these fossil fuel motor transportation. The buses are coming, and I believe by 2027 we are going to have buses in our roads that is electric. Okay. And that is a very big achievement towards our struggle to see that environment is conserved, our air is clean, and then reducing the carbon emission.
And finally, for you, Mr. Geoffrey, whereas you've highlighted the government has introduced the renewable energy buses we're expecting in Kampala and the walkways, the expansion of the walkways on our roads, what other policies or infrastructure expansion would you suggest to be implemented by the authorities? Our office, the Assistant Commissioner is here. Yeah, he could be taking notes.
Yes, they are doing a very good job, okay. But let's not leave the work to their hands alone. Let's be part of it. This is our country. We need to help them. Yeah. And make NEMA our friends, because what they're doing is good, is a good thing. I'm happy that now they are implementing evictions of people who have settled in ungazetted places. And also, one thing, I know NEMA doesn't directly implement tree planting program. It was National Forestry Authority. But now that National Forestry Authority status is still questioned as a result of that parliamentary abolishment of state agencies. Yes, so we think tree planting, greening our country would be a very good idea. Okay. Because if we are having good roads, we are now looking at also having efficient electricity to drive our country into green economy. We also need trees. We need government to implement and make sure our country is green, okay. Especially the new roads that they are constructing. I think there was a policy where every road constructor is supposed to plant trees after constructing of the road. I think they should look at that, and also our road reserves around the city here. We need some new trees.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Geoffrey, for your message.
Thank you.
If I could go back to Mr. Wilber. Mr. Wilber Ikilai is the Assistant Commissioner, Environment Education and Advocacy at the National Environment Management Authority. Yes. So, you talked about the eviction enforcements. Some of our people out there insist these are punitive perhaps should I say punitive laws, and they are selective. Could you please change this narrative that it's being undertaken for the best interest of our environment? Or could you please speak to people of this mindset?
Now, thank you first of all for that question. I want to make it clear that we go through a process before any evictions are done. We go through a process which is provided in the law.
Yep.
We first of all we do an assessment to find that who is exactly in a wetland. An assessment is clearly done, and we don't do it alone. We do with the Ministry of Water and Environment, the local authorities, that is the LOCs are involved. Now when an assessment is done, we establish that who is on a wetland and who is not in a wetland. That information is provided to the participants or the occupants of the place, those who are within that area. Then after that, another information and engagement is done where we meet these people. We have a discussion that this is what the law is saying, this is what you are expected to do, this is not what you are expected to do.
Okay.
Now, after that, restoration orders are issued that by this period of time, according to the law, you are expected to organize yourself and leave. Now, what has happened is that despite all those efforts and what NEMA does, because we are human beings and some of the people who are there are our relatives.
Some are your brothers.
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Some of those people are our relatives. We are human beings, we feel. Now, after implementing all those, now at the time of now going to implement the real, to see that now whether people are complying or not, in most cases we do reminders. And you'll find now that the people who are being told to leave now are people who were engaged as early as 2023.
Some years back.
Yes, some years back. But what we found out is that sometimes you engage this group of people who are here in 2023. After realizing that they're on the wrong, they sell plots to other people.
Someone else.
And then they leave. Then we begin again engaging another group. You can see what we go through. Now, when this happens, in most cases, there are people who stay adamantly and they don't care. They say, for us, we don't have where to go. But the law is very clear. And one of our role is to enforce the law. Time comes when we are like, we have done enough, and at least now you are expected to leave. And that is it. Now you will find they will come to the media like as if they have never engaged them. They will just say, these people just came yesterday. That is not true. And I have to be very clear, that is not true. You see that? So we do all this and we follow the law. And also there are those who say, they have left so and so. Also, there are two lines of discussion in that aspect. There are people who realize that now they are going to be told to leave. Then they run to court for court injunction. Now, those ones are different from these others who do not go. Now, these ones who go to court, we have to battle with them through the court. Yes. And when you come to evict, you can't start with that one. You go with these others, okay. And then those now you have to go through the legal processes. And that's why you'll find some of them saying, so and so was left, but for us, there are a lot of dynamics there. Then there are even those we have, there are those we act even when they are big shots, but we don't publish them. You see that? Now, that is where the internal dynamics are. And all of it, we may not bring it to the public for purposes of confidentiality in the way we do our work. And then those who we are battling with, who have gone to court and the court has given injunctions, we deal with them legal, and the court procedures. Yeah. Come back, go sometimes back. It is bureaucracy. Are you seeing that? Mm-hmm. So that is how it is. But nobody is evicted unjustifiably. We have to go through all the legal procedures in order. I've told you that evictions are the last last resort, but we do not do that before following all the procedures of the law.
Is it true that some of your officers, after you issuing restoration orders, if you can call them, some of them go back to these people, they solicit some funds, and then be like, when we come, you people will be left out. You will be left out. You will not bother you.
But they are not the final people. They are not the final people. First of all, that is one thing. Secondly, this implementation of these demolitions, evictions is not done by NEMA alone. Let me tell you, we work with the KCCA, work with the Ministry of Water and Environment. And I told you earlier that the mandate of managing wetlands in the country and water resources is in the Ministry of Water and Environment. And that is our mother ministry. It is like you saying, now you're going to do something and you override your boss. So we work with the Ministry of Water and Environment, we work with the KCCA, we work with the anti-corruption team from State House, we work with the police, we work with this army. You can imagine all those, will you bribe all of them?
Okay.
So you can find that whatever people bring when they are being evicted, some of those are allegations. So this get facts from us as an organization. Whoever is not satisfied with what is happening, get back to NEMA, get to the right channels to address issues. But most of them go to the media, and then whatever is escalated is most information.
The last one about the evictions and the restoration orders. How can someone know that he is in the wrong side of the law regarding the environment, that they should what should they do? How can someone assess and identify, perhaps tell, it's high time I should leave, perhaps I'm already in the wetland?
Yes, I have told you that before you are evicted, a team will come, a team. Some of them, for us, our people don't go to the ground when they can't identify themselves. We go with a team. Ministry of Water, we move with them when we do assessment. And we go and do assessment. Even before that, we meet the local leaders with all of them that will come here, purpose, do an assessment on issues related to environment. After an assessment is done, there is time for feedback, and during feedback we shall tell you, we did an assessment here last time. This is, you can see from here, this is a line, this is where the wetland is ending. So anybody beyond this side is in a wetland. And what does the law say? We interpret for you all what the law says. Before, now even after interpreting for you, we shall not tell you that they go. We shall now give you time, but also come now and give restoration orders written to each household that has been identified is in the wetland.
Okay.
Now, after giving that, now those restoration orders are supposed to, they actually have the dates which the law mandates. Maybe you're given 21 days to leave. Now, when you're given that period, in most cases we even extend, because we go back to remind them that please, this period of time has expired, but we are giving you more 2 weeks or even a month to leave. Now when we do that and there is no action, then that we come and enforce now. The whole team now comes to enforce. It is not only NEMA, and that is why it is very difficult for you who is there to say that now these boys are asking for bribe. Will you bribe all those NGGs? Will you bribe all of them?
No. Thank you so much, Mr. Wilber. Which other area should, what, you know, you are such
my piece of advice.
And invited guests. So where else, what next are you visiting? Which exact area are you visiting next?
No, I can't tell that now here, because there are so many dynamics in the planning.
Okay.
Now what I can only tell Ugandans is that, one, do not be duped to accept to buy any plot of land in a wetland. Never. Because when you buy it, you can buy it now, build it, even stay in it for 10 years. But the law is very clear. Time will come when they will say break. Because even where they are breaking now, some of those people will be telling you, no, we were here for the last 20 years. Do you think the government forgot about it? So even when you buy now in a wetland, know that time will come and they will break your karuna, or they will break that good house of yours, and you will regret the money you have wasted. So do not be duped to accept to buy a plot in a wetland.
Okay.
Then secondly, if there is any information you need, don't go to any other people who may not be knowledgeable about these areas, because they can be seasonal wetlands. They sell you during dry season, it is dry. You when the rain season comes, it is the water is there. So the best people to contact is either Ministry of Water, or you contact NEMA. And for us, we have a system of establishing that this is a wetland.
Okay.
And do not get information from quacks or wrong people who want to make money from the public.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Wilber, for your insights. Now, if we could have your plans about the Environment Day preparations, then we'll be done with you, Mr. Wilber.
Yeah, thank you so much. Ugandans, we are joining the international world to celebrate World Environment Day. Background of this day is that during the Stockholm Conference in 1972, the UN decided that every 5th of June every year we commemorate World Environment Day. Why? World Environment Day looks at kind of escalating issues that are affecting environment, and especially the human life. Okay. Now, it is a practice now that we need to escalate globally, and Uganda, as a signatory to the UN, we are part of the celebrations of the International World Environment Day. And while we are doing this, we want to create awareness to bring to the people that these are the issues that are affecting our environment, and we must be part of the solutions. Okay. But also, so this year, where are the celebrations? This year, it was agreed at the National Organizing Committee that the celebration will be in Adjuman District. Okay. So Adjuman District and generally West Nile as a region is hosting. We have already preparations going on, but also we have what we call pre-World Environment Day activities ongoing. For example, tree planting. Okay. It is going on in the identified land in the schools of Arinyapi Secondary School in Adjuman, and then Elegu Primary School still in Adjuman. Then we have talk shows like this going on. As we have it at the national level, we also have it in West Nile. But also there are smaller activities that we encourage at the different household level, at the school-based level. We have activities that we encourage. Okay. Schools can debate, schools can talk about environment and do something. Yep. But also households, we are encouraged in our own homes to do something. Either you plant a tree, keep the environment clean, talk to the neighbors about it. How many of us teach our children how to manage waste at home? These are some of the small initiatives, but they contribute towards environment. All right. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Wilber. If I could hear from the CEO, Sage Foods Industries, you are one of the partners in the preparations for this year's World Environment Day. What are some of the plans you have in regards to this day?
Yeah, thank you, Joseph, and thank you again for giving us this opportunity to talk about issues of environment. And from the private sector point of view, of course, you know, we are doing some things together with NEMA. Okay. And particularly for this World Environment Day, I mean, though Ebola has staggered us and we cannot do what we really wanted to do, we shall still have some 5 activities as partners to NEMA. One of them, already Geoffrey has said, is the 10 kilometers walk. Number 2, we shall do the 24-hour stand, a very crazy concept. Very crazy concept. 24-hour stand. This gentleman here, okay, is amazing. I have known this guy for a long time, and he's an amazing guy. Okay. He does very crazy things. So we did some trial during the Uganda Water Environment Week. We really, literally, he stood for 24 hours at the Ministry of Water headquarters. So we not just standing. No, it's not just standing. He's communicating something to the world. So we shall now do the big one during the World Environment Day, which will be at some stage in Germany, at some point of time in Germany.
Okay.
It's not really cancelled, it's just postponed. Yeah. So we are very confident that we shall have those kind of things done.
All right.
And number 3, we shall do the essay writing competitions for secondary scholars, for which now the best ones will earn radio sets from Farm Radio International. And we shall also do for cycling activities. And of course, this media thing is very, very good. Thank you so much for hosting us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Now, before I forget, partnerships. This struggle we are in for needs partners. And what they call them, the UN's, they call it what, these SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. You can never achieve even one without partnerships. Number 17 is partnerships, not so?
Yeah.
Partnerships from civil society, from private sector, from government institutions, global needs partnerships. Even communication needs partnerships, the media and so on. So we can't do without partnerships. And this is a very direct call to all people or entities which can join this movement.
Okay.
We call upon you to really be together and support NEMA. You see, NEMA's job is a very difficult job. But the good thing is they're saying that they're also able to do compliance assistance. Before I establish a factory somewhere, they're able to guide what to do, how to do it, so that you really don't fall on the wrong side of the law.
All right.
They're doing a good job, but we need to really now communicate what they do in a very positive way. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Robert. Now, if I could have your closing remarks, we will have this show ended in the next 1 minute.
Yes, thank you very much. I want to thank the management of Uganda Catholic TV and also Caritas for giving us this opportunity to advocate and create awareness about this special day. Thank you very much. My final request to our audience: let's take care of our environment. Let's plant trees. Let's follow what NEMA tells us to do, so that we live in harmony with the environment and the entity that is mandated to take care of our environment. Right. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Geoffrey, for your time. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Looking forward to having you for one more time here, or more than one time. That is it from the gentlemen we had in our studios tonight. We thank you so much for choosing and sticking to Uganda Catholic Television. We can't forget to thank Caritas for facilitating this show. Many thanks to the organizers, to Caritas Uganda. On behalf of the entire team at UCTV, we wish you the very best of the World Environment Day. Until we meet again, we sign out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.